When I stepped outside, I was almost struck by a heart attack. My flowers, the pride of my garden, were dead. The stems had turned black, the leaves shriveled, and the soil smelled of chemicals. And behind the fence, with her arms crossed and smirking, stood Karen.
Oh, what a shame.
She said with a grin.
I told you those flowers were harmful. Looks like nature decided they shouldn't be here.
I clenched my fists. She did this on purpose. But if Karen thought this was the end, she was deeply mistaken. That very night, I turned her yard into a huge dump. However, it all started a couple of days earlier. Karen had always been a problematic neighbor. She would latch onto anything to complain about. First, it was the trees.
Your oak tree has gotten too big. It ruins the view from my window.
It's my property, and the oak has been here for 20 years. Karen frowned but left. A few days later, she came with another complaint.
Your fence is too dark. It creates a gloomy atmosphere in my yard.
I just smirked. My fence is fine as it is. She snorted and left. And then suspicious things started happening. One time I stepped outside and saw that my flower pots had been overturned. Then someone intentionally dug up my flower bed. I began to realize that Karen had decided to go from complaining to active sabotage. But the worst happened when I woke up and, stepping outside, saw that all my plants had died. The leaves had stuck together, the stems had turned black, and the earth gave off a chemical smell. And that's when I heard Karen's voice with a self-satisfied smile standing by the fence.
Well, finally, your garden doesn't look so messy. Maybe now you'll plant something decent.
I looked at her. Her smug smile said it all. She had poisoned my flowers. I couldn't leave this unanswered. That night, I made my decision. I knew that if Karen had decided to act so sneakily, I wouldn't hold back either. That night, while Karen was asleep, I took action. I called for a garbage truck. It pulled up to her yard and started unloading trash directly onto her land. Old tires, broken chairs, rusty pipes, and even a few toilets were scattered everywhere. By morning, when Karen stepped outside, she froze in horror. Everything she saw was covered in trash and other debris. Her yard was now a true dump. She rushed over to me, shouting,
What the hell did you do?
I calmly shrugged. I just decided to help you decorate your yard. Now it looks as decent as my garden did after your interference. Karen stood there in shock. Now her yard looked like a dump. She didn't know what to do, and I tasted the victory. I was sure she got the message. If you play dirty, be ready for an even harsher response. Since then, Karen never complained again.